Welcome to Elevate and Escape Safety Training, as we focused on understanding and identifying casual factors in incident investigation. Most accidents do not happen because someone just messed up. They happen a series of causal factors from small oversight to system-wide failures aligned to create the perfect storm. In this session, we will uncover how to break the chain dot by identifying every level of cause, from the hand that slipped to the system that never caught the hazard. This is the skill that separates average investigation from safety leaders, and it's a critical piece of safety management system. Accidents happen at work, and our first job is to respond and care for people. But after the immediate response, we must investigate, not to assign blame, but to understand why the accident happened. Stopping at the obvious, like blaming someone for leaving a box in a walkway, misses the real issues. We need to ask, why was the box there? Was storage inadequate? Was the worker rushed? Was lighting poor? This training will teach you to look beyond the surface, identify all contributing factors, and find real solutions. Understanding these causal factors is essential for building a resilient safety culture and advancing your career. By digging deeper, you move from reacting to problems to preventing them. These skills are central to modern safety management systems and professional certifications. Learning to analyze causes prepares you for leadership and greater responsibility. Let's get started on seeing accidents in a whole new way. To investigate effectively, we need a structured approach, a hierarchy of causes. First, immediate causes, unsafe acts or conditions at the moment of the incident. Next, basic causes, underlying personal or environmental factors that allowed those unsafe acts or conditions. Then, root causes, system-level failures that, if fixed, prevent similar incidents. Finally, management-level causes, leadership or organizational issues that shape the safety environment. This framework guides us from what happened to why it happened. Throughout this training, you'll learn to use this structure to uncover deeper issues. Let's break down each level. When an incident occurs, we first see the immediate causes: unsafe acts or unsafe conditions. Unsafe acts are risky behaviors like not wearing safety glasses or rushing a task. Unsafe conditions are hazards in the environment, like a slippery floor or faulty equipment. These are easy to spot, but stopping here is a mistake. Focusing only on the obvious treats symptoms, not the disease. Immediate causes are just the tip of the iceberg, signals of deeper problems. Our job is to use these clues to dig deeper, asking why these acts or conditions existed. That's how we move from surface-level fixes to real prevention. After identifying immediate causes, we search for basic causes, the underlying reasons for unsafe acts or conditions. These fall into two groups: personal factors and job system factors. For example, a worker not wearing safety glasses might never have been trained, or the glasses might be uncomfortable. A slippery floor could result from a leaking machine or no clear cleanup procedure. Finding basic causes means asking probing questions and looking at the bigger picture. This shifts our focus from blaming individuals to understanding the environment and systems. By uncovering these patterns, we can create more effective, lasting solutions. Let's see how this works in practice. To prevent repeat incidents, we must identify root and management causes. Root causes are system failures, like inadequate training programs or poor maintenance scheduling. Management-level causes go even deeper: leadership decisions, resource allocation, and safety culture. For example, if safety training is lacking, is it because leadership doesn't prioritize it? Addressing these top-level causes is challenging, but leads to the most meaningful change. Our goal is to connect the dots from the incident to the system and leadership decisions that allowed it. By fixing the system, we create a safer workplace for everyone. Now let's apply this thinking to a real scenario. Picture a busy manufacturing facility late on a Friday. Alex, moving a pallet with a jack, tries to make room for a forklift in a crowded walkway. The pallet jack slips onto rough flooring, destabilizing the load. Boxes fall just as Maria, distracted by paperwork, rounds a blind corner and is struck. The response is immediate, but the causes are complex: blocked walkways, rushed work, poor visibility, and distractions. This isn't a simple accident. It's a chain of events involving people, equipment, and environment. As safety professionals, our job is to dissect each layer, resist easy blame, and use our framework to find real solutions. Let's start peeling back the layers to understand what really happened. Our investigation starts with the immediate causes, the unsafe acts and conditions at the moment of the incident. Unsafe acts include Maria walking while looking at her clipboard, and Alex pulling the pallet jack without checking for hazards. Unsafe conditions include the obstructed walkway, the blind corner, and the uneven floor. These unsafe acts and conditions interacted. The obstructed walkway led to Alex's quick maneuver, and the uneven floor made the load unstable. The falling boxes struck Maria, who wasn't looking where she was going, as she came around a blind corner. It was a combination of factors. Documenting these causes is just the beginning. We must ask why these unsafe acts and conditions existed, leading us to the basic causes. Now we dig deeper to uncover the basic causes behind the unsafe acts and conditions. Let's start with the personal factors that may have influenced the worker's behavior, such as urgency or lack of experience. Next, we examine the job and system factors that created the hazardous environment. A job factor could be inadequate housekeeping or lack of storage. A system factor might be a lack of clear standards for securing pallets. Poor facility layout and inadequate maintenance are also job factors. By identifying these basic causes, we move from blaming individuals to understanding the circumstances that shape their actions. These basic causes are the underlying reasons for the unsafe acts and conditions we saw. Addressing them will lead to much more effective solutions. Our final step is to trace these issues to their ultimate source. The most critical stage is identifying the root and management level causes. This requires looking at the underlying programs and policies that allowed the basic causes to exist. For example, inadequate training might stem from an ineffective safety training program. Poor housekeeping could be due to the absence of a formal workplace inspection program. Similarly, an unstable load suggests a lack of engineering controls. Management-level causes relate to the safety management system and leadership commitment. Multiple root causes point to an inadequately resourced safety management system. Production pressures could reflect a culture prioritizing production over safety. This connects the injury back to organizational philosophy. It's the safety leader's job to present this analysis and recommend fundamental changes. This ensures corrective actions are effective and sustainable. Moving from the surface of an incident to its root is an essential skill. One of the simplest yet most powerful tools for this is the 5 whys technique. This method helps you peel back the layers of a problem. The idea is not to stop at the first answer, but to repeatedly ask why until you arrive at a fundamental process or system failure. This disciplined questioning prevents us from settling for easy, superficial answers. It forces our investigation deeper, toward the root of the problem where real change can be made. It transforms a simple observation into a meaningful causal chain. Let's apply this to our warehouse scenario. We start with the immediate cause. Maria was injured because a box fell on her. Why did the box fall? Because the pallet load became unstable and tipped over. This first why takes us from the injury to the event that caused it. But we cannot stop here. We must continue our inquiry to understand the next level. The answer to each question becomes the basis for the next question we ask. So, we ask again, why did the pallet load become unstable? Because the pallet jack wheel dropped off the edge of the walkway onto an uneven surface. This answer reveals a combination of an action and a condition. Now we are looking at the interaction between the equipment and the environment. We are starting to see that the problem is more complex than just a falling box. We must persist. Why did the pallet jack wheel drop onto the uneven surface? Because the operator, Alex, had to pull it aside quickly to make way for a forklift in a partially blocked walkway. This answer introduces new elements, another worker, another piece of equipment, and a critical unsafe condition. Why was the walkway blocked? Because empty containers were not cleared away. Why were the containers not cleared away? Because there is no formal housekeeping procedure or accountability for keeping walkways clear. We have now arrived at a systemic failure, a root cause. A multi-level analysis is about understanding how causes are connected. An effective investigation reveals a chain of events. Immediate causes don't happen in a vacuum. They're often the outcome of basic causes below the surface. For example, a worker rushing can be a response to job or system factors like tight schedules. Think of it as dominoes. The final domino is the accident, and the one before it is the immediate cause. Our job is to find the first domino and understand who pushed it. Connecting the dots is important for communicating findings. Showing leadership how decisions contribute to injuries gives your recommendations power. It reframes the incident into a symptom of a larger issue. It's a tool for driving improvement. Recognizing intersecting failure paths gives a richer picture and highlights areas for improvement. To conduct a systematic multi-level analysis, you need more than just good questions. You really need tools that provide structure and make sure you don't miss any critical steps. Flowcharts and checklists are essential for any investigator's toolkit. A causal factor analysis flowchart can guide you visually through the process. It starts with the incident, prompts you to identify immediate causes, and then provides pathways for digging into basic causes, like personal and job factors, and finally into root and management system causes. This tool ensures your investigation follows a logical and repeatable sequence, so you don't get lost in the details. Checklists are another invaluable resource. A well-designed checklist can prompt you to consider a wide range of potential causal factors that you might otherwise overlook. For example, under personal factors, a checklist might include items like fatigue, lack of experience, inadequate skill, and stress. Under job factors, it might list poor equipment design, inadequate maintenance, poor communication, and lack of procedures. Using a checklist doesn't replace critical thinking, but it supports it. It acts as a memory aid, ensuring all key areas are considered during your analysis and data gathering phase. These tools are particularly useful when you're working under pressure after an incident. In a stressful situation, it's easy to forget steps or to focus too narrowly on one aspect of the failure. A flowchart or checklist keeps you grounded and on track. It provides a methodical framework that helps you remain objective and thorough. It also helps to standardize the investigation process across your organization. When all investigators use the same tools and methodology, the quality and consistency of your incident analyses will improve significantly over time, leading to better data and more effective corrective actions. Ultimately, these tools help you build a compelling case for change. When you present your findings, a flowchart showing the causal path provides a clear, easy-to-understand summary of a complex event. A completed checklist demonstrates the thoroughness of your investigation, showing that you've considered all possibilities. These documents become part of the official record, providing a foundation for developing corrective action plans and tracking their implementation. We'll provide downloadable versions of these tools at the end of this module to help you apply this structured approach in your own workplace investigations. Let's examine a real-world case to see our analysis model in action. Consider the Piper Alpha oil platform disaster. The principles of its failure can be scaled down to smaller incidents. Imagine a similar but non-fatal scenario in a chemical processing plant. An operator is injured by a sudden release of hot fluid from a pipe because a flange failed. A deeper analysis is required to prevent a future disaster. Investigators discover a pressure safety valve had been removed for maintenance, and the flange that failed was a temporary one. The operator who started the pump was unaware of this maintenance work, the permit-to-work system was not followed correctly, and shift handover communication was incomplete. The root cause is a faulty communication process and a weak permit-to-work system. Safety procedures were often bypassed to speed up maintenance, pointing to a management culture that prioritized production over safety. This was an organizational failure, starting from the top. This full picture is necessary to drive real, lasting change in the plant's safety culture. Let's consider a construction incident. A roofer falls from a two-story building, sustaining serious injuries. The immediate cause? A fall from height. The worker wasn't tied off. Retraining seems the solution, but this is incomplete. Why wasn't the worker tied off? The anchor point was far, requiring multiple detachments, slowing him down. The fall protection plan was impractical, making safety difficult, compounded by deadline pressure. The supervisor lacked training for residential roofing plans, the root cause inadequate safety planning. This fall was a predictable outcome of a systemic failure, stemming from a lack of leadership commitment to practical safety. These case studies show how the same analytical model can be applied to different industries and incidents. The specific causes change, but the process of digging deeper remains the same. Your task now is to take this structured thinking back to your own workplace. When the next incident or even a near miss occurs, resist the temptation to find a simple cause. Resist the urge to assign blame. Instead, become a curious investigator. Start with the immediate causes, the unsafe acts and conditions, but treat them only as the first clues in a much larger puzzle you need to solve. Use the tools we have discussed. Start a 5 whys analysis. Ask why the unsafe act occurred, then ask why that reason existed. Keep going. Use a checklist to ensure you consider a wide range of job factors and personal factors. Look for issues like poor design, inadequate maintenance, time pressure, and lack of training. Don't be afraid to question the status quo. The answer, "That's just how we've always done it," is not an acceptable endpoint for an investigation. It is often a sign that you are getting close to a hidden, long-standing root cause. Your goal is to connect the dots from the event on the floor to the policies in the office. Look for failures in your core safety programs. Are your training programs effective? Are your inspection processes actually finding hazards? Is your incident reporting system encouraging people to speak up? These are the systems that should prevent incidents. When one happens, it means one or more of these systems have failed. Identifying these root causes allows you to fix the system itself, which is a far more powerful solution than just addressing a single unsafe act or condition. Ultimately, your analysis must consider the role of management and culture. Present your findings in a clear, logical story. Show how management decisions about resources, priorities, and oversight created the conditions for the incident to occur. This is how you elevate the role of a safety professional. You are not just the incident reporter. You are a strategic advisor who helps the organization understand its own weaknesses. By applying these lessons, you can transform every incident from a failure to be lamented into a powerful opportunity to learn, improve, and build a stronger, more resilient safety culture. Now, let's check your understanding with a short, interactive quiz. It's designed to test your ability to distinguish between different types of causal factors. This self-assessment helps identify areas where you feel confident and areas where you may need to review the material. The quiz presents brief scenarios with contributing factors identified during a hypothetical investigation. Your task is to classify each factor as an immediate, basic, or root cause. This exercise challenges you to think critically and apply the definitions we have learned. Completing this quiz will build your confidence and sharpen your analytical skills. This is excellent preparation for conducting thorough investigations. Take your time and read each question carefully. Theory is important, but practical application is what makes a difference. To help you translate the knowledge from this training into action, we are providing you with downloadable learning tools designed to be your companions during future incident investigations. The first tool is a causal factor analysis flowchart. This one-page visual guide walks you step by step through the investigation process. The second resource is a comprehensive causal factor checklist. This document serves as a powerful memory aid, prompting you to consider a wide range of potential causes. We are also providing a simple template for conducting a 5 whys analysis. This worksheet gives you a structured format to document your line of questioning. We encourage you to download these tools and integrate them into your organization's existing incident investigation procedures. Share them with your colleagues to promote a consistent, best practice approach to causal analysis across your entire organization. We have reached the end of our journey into causal factor analysis. Throughout this training, we've learned that incidents are symptoms of deeper, systemic issues. By uncovering the root causes, we transform our function from reactive response to proactive strategy. This structured approach is the heart of a modern safety management system, built on continuous improvement fueled by learning from failures. Use the downloadable tools to bring structure to your next investigation. Commit to asking why until you can go no further. Every incident is an opportunity to diagnose your safety culture. By correcting root causes, you're fixing flaws that would lead to future incidents, moving toward proactive control. Continue to practice this skill and champion a culture of deep inquiry. In doing so, you will build a safer future. Always keep in mind that when you uncover causal factors at every level, not just what happened, but why, you give your team the power to prevent the next incidents. Investigations should never stop at the worker's action. They must go deeper. Because until you fix the system, you are only treating the symptoms. This is how we elevate safety. This is how we build smarter, stronger SMs. And thank you for allowing Elevate and Escape Safety Consulting on your safety training journey.